Hey there, this is Erin Elizabeth Burns, and I'm sitting here with Chris Gordon of Ramblings of a Hillblazer.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, my listeners, wherever you are in the world right now. This is Ramblings of a Hellblazer with yours truly, as always, Chris Gordon. Thank you very much for tuning in and for all your support, as always. Without you, this show would be nothing. And if you're tuning in for the first time tonight, then thank you, welcome, grab a seat, and hope you enjoy the ride. Today I bring to you an actress who is currently starring in a film called Cell, based on a Stephen King novel, and she's starring alongside John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, no less. She's a fascinating lady, a fun lady, and I'm looking forward to this talk. So without further ado, I bring to you Erin Elizabeth Burns. Erin, how are you?
I am great. I am so excited to be here on Ramblings of a Hillblazer.
That's awesome. It's great to hear that. Yeah, very nice. You do come across as a very bubbly person, so I'm sure this will be a very fun interview.
Yay, good!
So as you know, we've got some general questions for you, and then we've got some questions regarding your current film, which is out at the moment, and coming out in full release next month. So we should kick off with the first few. Is how long have you been an actress?
Since the fifth grade, I was obsessed with The Sound of Music when I was a kid, the movie, right? And my mom came to me and showed me an article from the paper that was advertising The Sound of Music at a local community theater, and she said, "Erin, do you think this is something you might want to do?" And the rest is history. She created a monster. So.
Awesome. So that's quite a long time then. Well, no, that's what made you feel. No, I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying it's just completely insulted you then, haven't I?
No, professionally since college, since like 2003, I think. But yeah, training and doing it as a kid. So.
That's pretty cool. I've mentioned it before on one of my shows. I used to act myself until I was about 18 or 19, and it's something I wanted to go into, but various things, including my parents, was just, they did it for the right reasons, and I love them to bits, and but they steered me a different direction. But I used to do musicals. It was great. Trying to get that up again, but we'll see. So
you don't live once.
Do it. I'm actually, I'm going to bore everyone again. I'm actually in a show next year called Robin Hood. It's in pre-production at the moment, a web TV, so they're doing all the fundraising for it, an independent show. With a guy called Anthony Pierce who's written it, and it's a female Robin Hood, and it's like sort of Game of Thrones type style about it. So it's going to be really good, and I brought them onto the show, and I did help to promote them, and as a thank you, I auditioned, and I've become the jailer, who is a little speaking role in the pilot.
Yeah. Send me the link. I'll contribute.
Oh, thanks. That'll be awesome. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's going to be starting. I think they're filming the pilot next year, so that'll be really looking forward to that one.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I want to support that. That's awesome.
Cool, awesome, thank you. That's my first step.
Awesome, great.
Cool. So what or who inspired you to become an actress?
Well, my mom, definitely, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have to give her all the credit for that because, and both of my parents, because, there's a lot of kids who don't have that support. And there were times where I was really struggling, and they would try to steer me to, and especially my dad, into, well, why don't you just, get this other degree or have a plan B. But I always pull the Will Smith thing on him because Will Smith always talks about not being realistic and never having a plan B, because if you have a plan B, I think it's a subconscious thing. Your brain will always go, well, just in case, but you only live once. So why do you even want to have a just in case?
That's a really good thing to do. Yeah, you're right, because so subconsciously you've got a plan B. You've already thought plan A is going to fail. That's
right. God, that is so mean. You said it even better. Yeah, and I'm at a point now where it's unreal to me that I'm supporting myself with acting and things that have to do with acting. And if I had gone to Plan B and gotten that other degree, I never would have. I moved to New York and studied acting and did all that thing, and that's led me to where I am right now in Atlanta. And if I had veered away from that at all, I never would have gotten this opportunity in Cell and, any other opportunities that have come along. So I'm a little crazy. I guess I have blinders on all the time, and it's just the one thing I want to do. But I think you kind of have to be a little crazy to do this in this.
We all get a little crazy sometimes, but no, I mean, you're right. You've got to be sort of that focus. You've got to have that focus. Just for the job that you guys do, it's because it's difficult to get into the role, difficult to get the roles, and it's such a cutthroat business. That's one thing I've learned from speaking to of the various people I've spoken to. So if you're not committed and you've not got that 100% commitment, like you say you have there, then I can see how much harder it can be. So yeah, you've just got to throw yourself in and be fully committed. Committed, not like committed with a straitjacket committed, but
but sometimes it can lead you to that. So
yeah, I guess so. 14 hours straight shooting, you probably end up.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So you mentioned there as well that you've other things involving acting, and I believe you are also an acting mentor. Is that correct?
Yeah, I teach acting classes here in Atlanta. Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got introduced.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right. So Dustin Lewis, he's like my Padawan. Although he was a professional actor for 20 years in musical theater, so I can't take any credit for that. But yeah, he plays Paul Revere on Fox's Sleepy Hollow.
Correct.
And he's brilliant. And so we work really closely together, and it's a blessing that to have, like, you have to have people on your team that are constantly supporting you, because we're all going through the same struggles all the time.
Yeah.
And you have to surround yourself with people that are like-minded. There's a big financial guru here named Dave Ramsey, and he has a radio show actually, and he talks about you'll be the same person you are 5 years from today, other than the books you read and the people you surround yourself with. So I'm extremely, extremely selfish in a healthy way with who I surround myself with on a daily basis because of that.
Yeah, no, that really does make sense as well, because, if you surround yourself with negative neg ferrets, they're called. There's a guy over here and he calls them neg ferrets, one of these, I'm a motivational speaker, what do you call them? Nut. I love going out and listening to all that kind of stuff, and, tried my hand at it myself. It didn't work that well. That's well, the podcast works for about 2 minutes, but that's all I can do. But there's a guy, he called them neg ferrets. They're people who are just determined to bring you down. So if you surround yourself with them, then you will be the same place 5 years or even worse off. So surround yourself with the people who are like-minded and push yourself through. But mentoring and teaching acting classes, that is a pretty cool thing to do as well. That's what
It's awesome. It's awesome because between gigs, you got to fill your time with something, and there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. And I've become a better actor because I'm constantly talking about acting.
Well, yeah, exactly. You can develop yourself as well. You can pick up and realise, maybe there's bad habits or something that you've been able to change through your teaching as well.
Absolutely.
Not that I'm saying you've got bad habits, but
no, none at all. Are you kidding? Yeah. Yo, but yeah, it is. It's regurgitating everything that I was taught by my teacher to other people, and it's. I can't believe they let me do that. I love it.
That is really, really cool. So, what's the most memorable moment throughout your career so far?
Whew, this is a good one. Oh my gosh, I guess probably. I studied with Maggie Flanagan. She's a well-known Meisner instructor in New York. I studied with her for a couple years. I can think of hundreds of memorable moments from that. I think in the business, though, career-wise, I would have to say my time with Samuel Jackson. And John Cusack. At the end of my first day, Sam gave me a hug and he said, "Great first day, kiddo! All right." Like he's one of the most well-known actors in the universe, right? Everybody knows Samuel Jackson. Everybody knows how good he is. And I was, nobody knew me. You know, I wasn't famous. I'm still not famous, but especially then, no one knew. You know, I was an unknown actor walking onto the set with these guys, and I'm going to try not to tear up. It was overwhelming. It just, they brought myself. There's a brilliant actor named Owen Teague. He's in the new It, the Stephen King remake, and he's on season 2 of Bloodline. He's just ridiculous. And my other co-star Anthony Reynolds plays Ray. They just took us on like we were part of the team, and that we had been on set with them for months, and we were all family, and that was pretty stinking cool. Yeah,
that is it's a pretty good. That's a pretty good moment to savor for the rest of your life, I guess. No one's going to knock you for that. Good.
I get a little emotional when I think about it.
Well, no, I'm not surprised. It's it's a huge thing, and like you say, it's as you're coming in there, you've got this role, you've landed this role, and I mean, I've seen the film, so I know how close you do work with them, and you're working right there with probably one of the biggest names in the world right now.
And he's so good. Sam, there's a scene, I think this part of it got cut out, but after, well, I won't spoil anything if you haven't seen it yet, but when something, quote unquote, happens to my brother, there was a little bit more of a scene where we start to run off, and I had the impulse to run back to my brother. It wasn't in the script, but I did that. And Sam is such a good actor. He's so good. He immediately worked off of that and grabbed me and pulled me and said, "No, we got to go." And we took off. And it was just oh God, it was just, he's so good. He's so good because acting, it's about a lot of things, but one of the things is about acting truthfully off of your own instincts.
Yeah.
And that's an instinct that I had in the moment. It wasn't written, but I just knew that that's what my character would do, so I did it. And Sam immediately, he was so in the moment and so in tune, and he went with me on that. I thought, oh God, he's such a pro. And John too. Not to take anything away from John Cusack, he was he's a huge Stephen King fan. You know, he did when he did 1408 with Sam.
I love that. Yeah,
it's so good, right? And so the same producers. Produced Richard Saperstein and Brian Whitten and Cher Kay also produced Cell.
Oh, okay.
So this wasn't their first rodeo together, which I thought was great.
Yep.
So John was exec producer of Cell, and we were sitting down, just going through the script, and he said, "Erin, if there's anything that you remember from the book that you think your character would say here, just feel free to improvise, go with it." I thought, my God, you're just to have that trust with an actor that you've not worked with before. It just blew me away. He was just amazing.
Awesome. It's and the vibe that you're just giving off, just even talking about it, it's like sending goosebumps on me just thinking about how much of a cool experience that really was. I'm living it now through you from the way you're.
I love vicariously living.
Excellent. The next 2 questions have actually come from my little 9-year-old. He threw them in. He was looking over. So you've got 2 questions. That next one's quite similar to what I've just asked. Is what's your most favourite role so far? And I guess
yeah, I would definitely. Wait, who asked this?
My son, Ethan.
Oh, hey, Ethan. That's a great question. Yeah, definitely Denise and Sal. I have to say, there was a role a friend of mine named Dusty Mitchell wrote for me. It's in a Funnier. Do you know Funny or Die?
Nope.
It's a huge website here in the U.S.
Right.
It's a bunch of comedy. Will Ferrell. I think I know he's involved with it. I don't know if he may have started it. Anyway, it's huge here, and he wrote a really funny character for me in a sketch called Officer Wanker.
Yeah, I saw that on your IMDb.
It's so ridiculous. But my heart is really in comedy.
Hmm.
Um, I'll do drama to the day is long. I love it, but my joy comes from comedy, and the that, and then the other one is I have a crazy little web series that I do with my sister called The Adventures of Lizzie Belch,
Hmm.
and she's kind of an alter ego, and I love her. I love her so much. So, so those I'd have to say.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I've got to say, I was looking at IMDb and I saw Officer Wanker on there, and I was like, okay, that's a pretty surreal name.
Yeah.
Excellent. And the other question was, if you weren't an actress, what do you think you would be? And I
Um,
guess stand-up comic.
no, I'm a marine biologist. I'm obsessed with sharks.
All right, really? I've actually no. I was going to say I've seen you sharing Jaws stuff today for the 41st anniversary. Is it?
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. That's gonna actually. That's a good answer for the guy for my son who asked it because that's what he wants to be when he grows up at the moment.
Oh my God! I'm so jealous. I mean, I'm so happy for him. Oh,
Yeah, we just went to Orlando, so we went to Clearwater to see Winter. You know the dolphin.
oh my
From a
God!
dolphin tail. It's all we didn't. I didn't. I had no idea it was real. But so we just went all over. I just thought it was all made up story. I didn't realise it was a real story. So we went to Clearwater and saw this dolphin with no tail, and and the work that they do is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I have. I like extreme stuff. I've been like skydiving and bungee jumping and things like that. And the one thing left on my bucket list is to go great white shark cage diving off the coast of South Africa.
Then me and you have got exactly the same thing on our bucket list because that's one of mine.
Let's go! Yay!
Yeah, that's one thing I'd love to do is go in a cage and just dive with a great white.
Yep. Yeah, I'll probably pass. In fact, I know I would pass out, but
Oh
whatever.
yeah, that goes without saying. I'll be flat out at the bottom of the cage, like ooh.
In fact, have you seen one of my favorite shows is An Idiot Abroad, Ricky Gervais's?
Yeah.
Have you seen the episode where he goes great white? Well, they think that they're sending him to go swim with dolphins, but instead he's great white.
Really?
Diving.
Oh no, I've not seen that one.
And he goes, I'm going to butcher your accent, but he goes, dolphins are harmless, great whites are armless. It's so funny. Oh my God, that is my favorite show. Yeah, so I'm a huge Ricky Gervais fan.
Oh yeah, he's a star. He really is funny.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, absolute genius. But yeah, An Idiot Abroad is one of the best shows. It really is because the guy's just genuinely like that, and it's like, how could you get through life being like that? But then you think, in some ways, it's quite nice if you're that ignorant and you just don't think of things.
Love it.
It
He's
is.
brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think the one I loved, he was on a Siberian train, and that just went. And that was just. I mean, they're all hilarious, but that was one that stuck out for me. I think was a Siberian train travel, and he was just like, "Why?" He's just questioning why. What's the point of having it there?
Carl Pilkington.
Carl,
That's his
Carl Pilkington. Yeah.
uh, I love it. I love it.
He's someone I really need to speak to on this show.
Oh my God, I would love to. Oh my God, yes,
You
yes,
wouldn't
yes.
see, you wouldn't see me. I'd just be flat on the floor crying with laughter.
So funny.
It is brilliant. Okay, moving on now. You've actually got two big films coming out this year. You've been into Allegiant is the other one. So what can you tell me about Allegiant?
So that was an amazing experience. That was definitely the biggest set I've ever been on. And I played I don't know if you've read the books or seen the films, but the societies are divided into different factions. And I was part of the fringe faction,
Hmm.
and we were the people that we were homeless. There was acid rain falling on us. We were dirty, and yeah, it was just great. And there was some real emotional scenes where our kids were being kidnapped. Yeah, it was just awesome, 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 awesome.
So it does sound great about Allegiant. I've seen Divergent, the first film, and I really enjoyed that. I've not read the books myself. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing the new film. Even more so now that you're on it.
Yeah.
I'll be trying to spot you out. Cool. And when is that released then? When
It's already out. It was
is it?
back
Oh,
in March, but
oops.
I think it just came on iTunes.
All right, cool.
Maybe even yesterday or today. I just saw it on iTunes.
All right, excellent. I shall definitely try and get hold of that then. This shows how out of touch I am with current things. You get head buried in so many things, you just completely forget what's going on.
I get it.
Okay, so the next question then is moving on to Cell, which is obviously what we're here for.
Yeah.
Now I've already got some goosebumps from you talking about being on set with those two. It's based on Stephen King's story. Did Stephen get involved in the actual creation of the film himself?
He did. He wrote the screenplay, and he was. I don't know if he was on set. He wasn't on set when I was there, but John had mentioned him maybe coming by a couple of times. He was part of post-production in the initial stages. I don't know about the final, the final production or the final editing, but I know in the beginning he was part of it. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's just answered my next questions of did you meet Stephen King when you were
Yeah,
obviously.
no, I didn't. I know. I was hoping to. I didn't, but I've been tweeting him and Facebooking him a little bit and just saying thank you for writing that character because she's badass.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I can agree with that. Having seen the film, but no, it's great. I mean, Stephen King's one of my favourite authors for a long, long time. Just writes so creatively, and the suspense is brilliant. And trying to bring that into a film as well, from the book to the film, and that's worked pretty well, I'd say, with Cell. It's I was gripped all the way through. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but I was sitting there and I was like, I got the plot straight away. I was like, working on. I just thought it was a really, really interesting concept, which is kind of brings me on because I kind of see it more like a prophetic look at today's society, addiction to technology. And you do. I mean, I was about to say, would you agree with that? But you're there nodding away, so yeah.
No, I wanted to touch on that because I think when I read it, Stephen King, he's brilliant beyond his own years, and it's what is in that book. I think it was 2006. I think he wrote that book, and the stuff that's been in the news the last couple of years about the potential effects of cell phone radiation to the human brain. That's not a new concept. And what he's done with this book, you said it better than I did, that it's almost prophetic in a way.
Yeah.
It's scary in one of the most realistic ways that I think he's ever written.
Definitely. Because everything, I mean, all these other books and a lot of the stories he's written as well, you can see where the fantasy side takes over, and you can see where it's unrealistic, But yeah, this one, it's very, very close to reality. You just have to walk out the house, and you can see everyone addicted. There's no one talks to anyone anymore, face to face. They don't do that. It's like So yeah, I can see where. That's all I thought of when I watched the film. I was like, my God, this is so scary that this kind of thing could evolve and really, really kind of happen in society because the human race has just become addicted to telephones and to technology.
Yes. Yep.
Sad, really, as well.
It is sad, yeah.
You're gonna.
I buy my nieces like board games and things to do, and I'm not going to buy them another kid iPad or something. Like they need to go outside and play hopscotch and do things, and it's scary as all get out. It really, really, really is. It's scarier than, you can look at it and The Shining, and they're terrifying. I'm not taking anything away from that, but it's like you said, this is a different kind of terror because it's so damn realistic.
Yeah, definitely. I won't take anything away from those two films that you did mention because they scare the bejeebers out of me. Yeah, Tim Curry. I mean, I can't wait for the new It to come out, but yeah, I can always just picture Pennywise as with Tim Curry.
Mhm.
Yeah, that kind of, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, the cell is just. You do, you're right. I mean, you can go down the pub nowadays and no one's talking to each other. You go to a restaurant and everyone's just sat on their phones. So this cell really brings it out into modern day. He's really, like you've already said, the creativity of him being able to use that. I mean, this was, I say, written back, 10 years ago, which was still the onset of, telephone use. I think it was starting. It's nowhere near what it was today. So it's like he's foreseen that kind of, like you say, well, prophetic is the word.
Yes.
So yeah, very, very scary. So what can you tell us about Denise, the character of Denise, then, without spoiling?
Yeah. I want to make sure I'm saying... Yes, I was right. 2006. 2006 is when the book came out.
So yeah, 10 years.
I do give justice saying that correctly. Yeah, she is a rifle-carrying, zombie-killing widow who is 6 months pregnant in the film. So, yeah, she's pretty badass.
Oh yeah, like I say, I've seen the film and I can guarantee I was sitting waiting for you to come into it, and I was like, oh. And I just sat there going, oh yeah, can't wait to speak to her. It was a brilliant character. I mean, the acting all throughout as well. Obviously yours, but everyone else's. It gelled. So it really did come across like that as well. And say Denise was, not being biased, but she was one of the favourite characters for me, because the attitude, there was an attitude that came across on screen, and it was refreshing to see. And like you say, 6 month pregnant, gun toting, and zombie killing. What more can you want when watching a film?
I agree. Great. Yeah.
Cool. So we've kind of skipped through quite a few of my questions already. Like the next one was whether we could see it as a possibility in our own futures. So that's kind of moving on from where we were. Do you see this as something that could possibly very well happen? I mean, prophetic look we've already looked at, but
I think the fantastical part comes in. When people turn into like what they're called phoners, in the store, or kind of these zombie killing machines or whatever. That seems a little far-fetched to me, but the idea of cell phone radiation affecting the human brain to the point where it affects decision-making, I'm not a doctor, but there's studies out there, and it's a hot topic right now, which I think makes this film relevant. So I don't know. You can't predict anything per se, but it's not that far-fetched.
No, it's not. I don't think. I mean, the phoners type thing as well. Yeah, it's the sci-fi side of things. However, who's to say? I mean, the way they've put viruses out nowadays. And obviously computer viruses, and who's to say that there's something might be developed that might just affect people in that way without trying to tell everyone what's going on. But thinking about it's not that far fetched really, because maybe not at this point in time, but things have been developed in that way that I could see. I mean, look at the it's like Minority Report with all this advertising. You can walk by an advert and they know your histories and it will change the adverts. So if they can do that now, they could possibly invent something that could start to control people's minds through their phones. And
actually, as we've been sitting here, my iPhone Siri started up because I think she thought that I was asking a question at some point or something.
Right.
I had to shut it off, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is not right. That is not right." That she just knows without me even pushing a button. Like it is. It's starting to get really damn creepy.
It is. So no matter what you do, you're addicted to it.
Like a super paranoid person.
Mm-hmm.
Like this kind of stuff does go, oh my god, what is happening to this world? Oh,
I know. Yeah. I mean, even if I get told off if I like something on Facebook or something like that, and all it is a little like, but then all of a sudden it's like, why have you liked that? What have you done? I was like, whoa, where's that? You know, everyone knows your business, and yeah. So I think Cell is far more prophetic and far more current than we've probably just mentioned it. And hopefully it's not, because it is.
King. It's all from his brain.
It is, yeah. And who's to say? I mean, look, Star Trek 34 or 50 years ago now, they had mobile phones, you know, and that's what's come in nowadays. So Stephen King is prophesizing Cell. It's not something I really want to think about, because it was pretty scary. It's like, I don't really want to think that's our future.
No, yeah.
What a depressing future that would really be. Well, at least you'll be sorted. You can carry a gun and shoot one and handle yourself.
I'll be the only one alive, so I'm fine with it, but best of luck, everybody else.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So obviously working alongside John Cusack and Sam Jackson, we've spoken about that already, and you exuded how much of a pleasure and an honour that was for you. What did you learn from them as well on stage? I mean, we've touched on it before with what they showed and what they did, especially with the way Sam worked with you on your improv.
Yeah, I would say what I learned from both of them is, no matter how successful you are, to always treat everyone the same. Mm-hmm. Treat everyone with kindness. Sam and I have a similar journey. We went to school in the same area. We both moved to New York, did theater in the same area, and I hope to follow in his footsteps. But he's worked anyway. The point is he's worked really hard for everything he's gotten. He wasn't born into an actor family or anything like that, and I wasn't either. And just the few successes I've had and have been blessed with, I should say, it's just a reminder that to just stay grounded and like I said, just be kind to everybody, because you don't know that person that has one line in a movie next to you. You don't know if the next time you turn around, they're the series regular and you're the guest star. You don't. Everyone has a different path, and just showing kindness, but also from a professional standpoint, just in regards to his acting, he was on point. Mm-hmm. I mean, on point, and so stinking prepared. And so was John Cusack, both of them. And when you're at that level and you can call the shots, and you can have things your way, to be professional, to be on time, to know the lines, and you'd be surprised, the work ethic of these people. It's amazing. It's amazing to see.
It's really good to hear that as well, because like you say, when they are such in the limelight like that, and as yourself as an actress going in, and even you are in admiration of the others, I love seeing that. I really do. But there are, you do hear stories when people are in a sort of a position, no matter, it doesn't have to be an acting industry, it could be anywhere, they abuse the power that they're in because they've got to that level. I mean, I heard, I can say it was Nick Frost Public, who's a public thing. When I went to see Nick Frost, and he was talking about a film that they did. He didn't mention the name, but he said the person came on and he was very English, and he would come on before set and he'd be like, "Oh, Lara, yes, I'm an actor. I'm acting. Everybody, please be," and that's how he came across to everybody on set. And when he wasn't on set, they just used to take the mick out of him, because it was like, seriously, what's the point? We're all here together. You've done some great stuff in your past. Nice one, congratulations. But just work. Why are you being like that? And so you hear those stories. So it's lovely to hear, especially to people who have as much respect and fandom like Sam Jackson and John. Because I've loved John. He's very I think he's very cookie and very quirky, and the films he does. It's just, he's always both are always a joy to watch. So yeah, it's nice to hear that in real life, and on a professional level, that's how they are with everybody as well. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I really rambled then.
I'm just as excited as you are. I think too, it's like, well, what kind of a legacy do you want to leave? What kind of a reputation do you want to have for yourself? At the end of the day, we all code it, without being too crass. I mean, let's face it, we all go to the bathroom in the exact same way.
Yeah.
And it all smells the exact same way. We're all the same. We are all the same. You know, some of us have gifts in other areas. Some people are very lucky, you know. Some people have worked really hard for what they have, you know, but none of us are any different at the end of the day. So there's no reason to treat anyone any less than you would want to be treated.
And that's a real excellent philosophy to have, I think, in life. And it's something I say, it's something I live by as well. It's, you know, the phrase, I'm an IT manager by trade at the moment. And so, like I said before, I'm still kind of hoping to push myself in that other direction. But yeah, the phrase is, don't, you know, crap on the person on the way up the ladder, because you might just, you're going to meet them on the way back down again.
Ooh, nice.
And it's however you treat, you know, it's how you treat people on the way up. You're going to get treated by the same on the way back down. So it's like just like you said, treat people with respect. Everyone you meet, no matter who you are, we're all the same. So.
Man, I preach it. I love it. I love that so much.
So yeah, that's the kind of we've got the same philosophy, which is pretty cool.
Love it.
Okay. If there's anything you could have done different in the film, looking back on it now, if there was anything at all, what would it be?
Yeah. So I over-rehearsed. I wanted to make sure I was uber prepared, and I wouldn't have rehearsed as much as I did.
Yeah.
Because when you get to set, you've got to be able to just be clay and be malleable and do whatever the director asks you to do, because that's your job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I would have just trusted. It's been a couple years. Like, we shot it winter of 2014, so it's been almost 2.5 years since we shot it. And so I've learned so much since then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so going forward, I'm better. I'll be better. Yes.
Well, I was going to say that over-rehearsing, you couldn't really over-rehearse, but then I guess if you fixed your way rehearsing and fixed it in your certain mind, then yeah, then the director just comes along and just totally changes how you had it envisioned.
Yeah, and in acting, you can't get set in your ways.
Yeah.
Because you're a part of a story that's being told. Unless you're executive producer, you're not telling the story, you know, or the director. So you have to be directable, you know. And, I mean, that's vital. That's vital. So, yeah. So I learned a lot.
Well, you couldn't have learned it in a better place. Or with better people. Well, I'll say that. I've just said that's contradicted exactly what I've just said, with better people, but it doesn't matter who you are. And I think, obviously, the acting classes that you teach as well, in the spare time as well, that'll definitely help you with moving on there. Sorry, I just lost myself for words then.
No, I've definitely. I mean, that's something that I tell my students all the time is you can't, come prepared, but be prepared to throw all that away and just do what's asked of you.
Yeah,
because you're not the one telling the story. It's the director. It's the editor. You know, at the end of the day, it's really putting those pieces together and telling the story. You know, so you just have to be able to do whatever's asked of you.
Excellent. Thank you. Great answer. So, is there anything else like you'd like to say about Cell? I've been trying to talk about it without issuing spoilers for anyone who's not actually watched it yet. So, is there anything that you really want to put across about it?
I guess if you're a Stephen King fan, you're an avid reader, just remember that you have to take a 9-hour, the audiobook is 9 hours long, so you have to take that and shrink it down to 90 minutes. So there's going to be a ton of stuff that's left out. I mean, but that's with any book, that's made into a film. I guess that, and go download it on Amazon Prime or on demand or iTunes, or it's coming out for a limited theatrical release on July 8th in the U.S. And it's going to Fright Fest.
Are you coming over for that?
I am hoping to. Actually, my publicist is going to be talking to them soon. Yeah, I want to.
London's West End, it is. Yeah, it's the heart of London's West End. 5 days of packed days of premieres, previews, personal appearances, sign-ins, and surprises.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
And I won't be able to go to that. Damn it.
Uh, I'm hoping to get in there.
All right, if you do come, I'll try and get my family down to London. So come and say hello.
Awesome, awesome.
It'll be great to come and say hello. Cool. Yeah. Is there anything else that you've got on the horizon at the moment?
I do. There's a project I just booked, but I can't talk about it yet. I can't talk about it yet, but I shoot in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's a television show, but I can't talk about it yet.
Okay.
But
You can come back on in a couple of weeks when you're allowed to. And
good. It's a kind of it's a little bit. It's like a mix between the character I play in Cell and the character I'm on Satisfaction on the USA Network.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a cross between those two characters, it's brilliant. It's brilliantly written. And then I may be doing a feature in the fall with a friend of mine in New York. And have my sister and I do the Lizzie Belch web series. We're always working on that. So we love it.
I'll have to look at that. I'll have to go and find that.
And you know what? They're 1 minute episodes, so I don't mind asking someone to watch it, because if you hate it, it's only a minute long. And if you love it, you'll want to go watch the other episodes.
Yeah. I'll go and find that. I'll retweet them out as well.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at actress EE Burns, Instagram Erin Elizabeth Burns, Facebook actor page is Real Erin Elizabeth Burns, and the YouTube web series is The Adventures of Lizzie Belch.
Awesome. Is there one last thing? This is actually the end of my questions. So is there any last words that you'd like to say to your fans and to the listeners out there before I stop the recording?
Yeah, be careful who you share your dreams with, because other people can poo-poo them. Mm-hmm. And your dreams are for you. They're not for other people. So don't have a plan B and just go full force and believe that it will come to fruition. That doesn't mean you'll be a millionaire. That doesn't mean you'll be famous. But it just might mean that you're happy and that you're content because you're doing what you love, even if it's in a small capacity. So learn to drown out the noise and just do what you want to do with your life, because we only get one of these from what I understand. So.
Well, thank you very much, Erin. That was absolutely fantastic. A real pleasure to talk to you and a pleasure to meet you. I hope everybody enjoyed that as much as I did. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you for taking your time out. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Ramblings of a Hellblazer, and I'm Chris Gordon. Goodbye.